So in the last video, I talked about how Living Single, they had one of the worst finales, series finales of all time, with two of the main characters of the show leaving, one not being there for the series finale, one coming back who was gone for most of the final season, and how everything was rushed. They even basically were only given half a season in season 5. To end the show, and it was bad.
You jiving me.
In this video, we're going to do Living Single right, and this is how Living Single should have ended. So we're gonna start with the end of season 4. The big day is here. Overton and Sinclair, let's get married. Meet me at the altar in your white dress. We didn't get any younger, you might as well do it, do it. Did you hear that one of the brothers like got in trouble for something? Didn't they go to jail or something like that? Anyway, so Sinclair and Overton do their I do's, do I do my love for you. And it's a joyous occasion, except one thing, not talking about A. Marie. Come to find out that Kyle got this big job offer in London, and Kyle offered Max to come with him, but Max refuses to go. And Kyle's like, well, I'm gonna go anyway, so you can either ride or die. Bad boy for life, nigga. Like, I don't know what you want me to do, but I gotta go to London, baby. That's what I'm finna do. So Kyle is at the airport, just looking at his watch, praying and hoping that Maxine will make up her mind and make the right decision and go to London with him, as Max is yelling at Khadijah in her apartment, like, why does he have to go? Why can't he stay? And Khadijah's like, I don't know what you're yelling at me for. I ain't do nothing. Like, you do what you feel is best. And Max is like, you're right. I'm gonna go yell at Kyle. And Khadijah's like, I don't know if we can do that. Like, it might be a little too late. Like, the hell it is. So Kyle, meanwhile, again, is looking at his watch like, damn, this girl really ain't coming. Maxine and Khadijah skirt, like, make it to the airport. They're trying to find a terminal. They see Kyle. Kyle's about to board a plane. Maxine's yelling, Kyle, Kyle, Kyle. Kyle don't hear her. So now she's like, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do. And as soon as Kyle's about to board that plane, what does Kyle hear but my funny Valentine, as Max is singing her heart out, and it's Max on the loudspeaker, and she like rushes to Kyle like, I didn't think I was gonna make it. Oh my God, so out of breath. Oh, I need to get back to do my aerobics class. Whew, I'm out of breath. And Kyle's like, I didn't think he was gonna make it, so you come with me. And Max is like, no, no, I want you to stay. Kyle's like, we already been through this. Like, why do you want me to stay? Why? And she's like, I mean, you're my buddy, you're my pal. Like, come on now. Like, who else am I going to tell my jokes to and roast? Like, come on. It's Kyle and Max. It's Max and Kyle. Like, who we always been, baby? And Kyle's like, that's not good enough. I need a real answer. Why do you want me to stay? And Max is like, man. Kyle's like, I'm going to miss you, girl. And he turns around, about to board the plane again. And Max is like, because I love you. And Kyle turns around again. Huh? And Max is like, cause I love you. I'll tell the whole airport, I'll tell the whole world. Maxine Shaw, attorney at law, loves Kyle Barker. And Kyle is like in shock and just drops his luggage. And the flight attendant is like, sir, are you gonna board the plane or not? And that's how they end season 4. So we start season 5 where we left off with Max telling Kyle that she loves him. Flight attendant asking Kyle, is she gonna board the plane or not? Kyle says, I'll catch the next one. Kisses, hugs Max, and Kyle is actually gonna stay in Brooklyn and leaves with Max and Khadijah. So for season 5, I'm just gonna give like a story arc of each character. We're gonna start with Regine. So, Regine's story arc is we're going to do a little bit of a recon or redcon. What do you call it, a recon or redcon? To where there was a particular guy that Regine was involved with that I felt like was a perfect match for her. And it started in season 2, the Thanksgiving episode. For those that remember or don't remember, Regine had a pal, a friend, a buddy, what? A buddy, for Thanksgiving dinner in I can't do that. I can't do it. I really tried. I already played myself. I really tried it too. Heavy D, aka Daryl in this episode. And Daryl in the Thanksgiving episode, season 2, was just a ball of energy, a joy, down to earth, funny guy, basically like a alternative version to Sinclair and Overton. And it brought Regine completely down to earth to where she was casual. She didn't even have a wig, like, well, allegedly, but you never know. To where like she was just completely cool. She wasn't so superficial. She was even dressed down, and she seemed genuinely happy. So much so that later in the season, her and Daryl eventually would get together and be boyfriend and girlfriend. Only come find out that they're too different. Daryl is too simple, and Regine wants more of a lavish life in her later years, so they break up, but it's all cordial. We're going to retcon season 4 to where Daryl's supposed to get married. We're going to retcon that his appearance in season 4 never happens. So it just so happens that Heavy D is actually in season 5 as Regine is wedding planning for one of her friends, runs into Daryl, and they start to rekindle their friendship. Come to find out that Heavy D actually invested into his own trucking company and thanks Regine for having a vision to think about his future. And Regine is happy, and again, they get together and are now boyfriend and girlfriend again. So then we get to Overton and Sinclair, who are having marriage woes as they start to learn more about each other and find out that marriage isn't just all rainbows and gun drops, and that you're gonna have hard times. Shout out to Dusty Rhodes. And then the major issue is Sinclair, who is really getting into her own lane with the acting and the stage plays. She's out later and later, and it started to really bother Overton as he feels like he never sees Sinclair. But eventually they do resolve that. They find a compromise. Khadijah, on the other hand, has a major conflict as her magazine Flavor is starting to really go down in sales as there is a new competitor that is rising in sales in the magazine called Taste, to where it's all about scandals and dirty gossip, and it's becoming like the Wendy Williams of magazines in the late 90s. And it just so happens that the person that is the owner of Taste, Mel Jackson, aka Trip, is the boss of Taste, which, by the way, every time I see him, the only thing I can think about, pause, is the movie Soul Food, to where he's talking to Lim and he just show his lips. I don't know why. I wish I could not think about that, but I just always think about that and how he try to play Lim. Like, yeah, you know how you got a job, right? Like, yeah, like, no, your girl got me this job, you know. And Lim did the right thing and punch him in his shit. But anyway, that's every time I see him, that's what I think about. But anyway, so Trip is like the big antagonist of the show for season 5 for Khadijah, as again Khadijah's trying to figure out how to keep her magazine. Meanwhile, Max and Kyle are continuing to work on their relationship, and they start to unveil certain things from the past, which really explain why Maxine has such a hard time committing, to where she doesn't want to commit, but she's starting to learn how to finally trust again. So it's a great like story arc with Maxine in regards to her finally starting to learn how to trust and commit to a relationship. So it's the end of season 5, and Max is rushing to work, and she happens to drop her coffee, and she nearly loses her life as she almost runs into an 18-wheeler, but thank God she turns the car in a way to where she misses the 18-wheeler and doesn't get hit. And it's at this particular moment where her life flashes before her eyes. She sees all like the best moments within the show, right? Within like a blink of an eye, and then she rushes back to the apartment and tells all the guys like, yo, I almost died today. I almost got ran over by an 18-wheeler. Like, life is too short. You know what, Kyle? Will you marry me? And that's how season 5 ends. Yes, just like that. And the whole crew was just like, what? So it's the beginning of season 6, the final season, to where Sinclair is at the psychiatry chair and just talking about all her friends' problems. They start off with Regine and how Regine is super depressed because she lost the biggest job of her career in terms of being a wedding planner for this king of Africa, and how she caught the bridesmaid. She caught the bride trying to get it in with one of the groomsmen, and she told the king, and the king didn't believe her, so she got fired, and she was supposed to get paid. But she chose morals over money, which once again shows the story arc of Regine. But now she's super depressed, and Daryl, aka Heavy D, is trying to cheer her up. Meanwhile, you have Khadijah, who is on her last legs with the magazine Flavor, and it's looking like if Khadijah doesn't figure out something by the summertime, that the magazine will be done for good. Meanwhile, you have Max and Kyle, who are at odds right now because Kyle turned down Max's offer to get married because Kyle just didn't like the way it was done and thought it wasn't thought-provoking or really was sincere. And now Max feels away, and now they're kind of in a disagreement right now. Lastly, you have Overton, and Sinclair's like, I have no issue with Overton. The only thing I have issue with is his cooking, which it keeps making me sick. And the psychiatrist's like, when are you finding that you're getting sick? She says, well, mostly in the morning. It's just getting weird, and then like I'm losing my appetite for certain things. I don't know what's going on. Like, I gotta figure it out. And the psychiatrist's like, yeah, I'm gonna write you a prescription. And she hands over the paper to Sinclair. Sinclair's like, there's nothing going here. And she's like, trust me, go to the doctor. He'll know. So Sinclair takes Khadijah with her to the doctor, and she's literally just telling everything she said to the psychiatrist to the doctor. And Khadijah's just like, hey, what are you doing? Tell her all my business and all our friends' business. She's like, and then Sinclair's like, the doctor can't do nothing anyways. She got a confidential agreement, just like a psychiatrist. And Khadijah's like, I don't think it works that way. And the doctor's like, it doesn't work that way. But trust me, I won't tell anybody. Who am I gonna tell? So then Sinclair's like, okay, doc, what are you gonna prescribe me? And the doctor's like, I'll probably prescribe to you to take it easy for at least the next 7 to 8 months. And Sinclair is like, why? And Khadijah's looking at her like, oh my God. And Sinclair's like, what? She's like, because you're pregnant. And she's like, what? And like, they're going crazy, like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Sinclair tells Overton and tells the whole crew that she's pregnant. Everybody's elated, and eventually it comes down to Kyle and Overton talking about it, and Kyle congratulates Overton, like, congratulations, man. It's nice that somebody's going to have a loving and bright future in this building. And Overton's like, you would too if you would get your head out your ass. And Overton's like, why didn't you say yes to Max? And Kyle's like, because I'm tired of being the second priority to her. Like, every time she's in a life-threatening situation, now she wants to marry me. Why am I not ever the top priority? I'm not someone's second. You feel me? Like, I don't get that. And Overton's like, oh, poor you. Every time the love of your life is in a crisis, she goes to you and wants to be with you. Poor you. He's like, don't you realize that she's choosing you? Every time she's in a situation, she is choosing you. And so to end the season premiere of season 6, they show Max opening the door like, who is it? So she's like, who is it? So she opens the door and it's Kyle, who's on one bended knee. Shout out to Boys to Men. On a bended knee, I never walk again. On a bended knee. Doom, baby. But yeah, Kyle's on bended knee, and he's like, will you marry me? And Max slams the door right in his face. And then episode 2, of course, opens back up with Max saying yes, just wanted Kyle to know what it felt like to be turned down for a proposal because Max is petty like that. So it's official. Max and Kyle are going to get married. They are officially engaged. So throughout the season, Daryl keeps asking Regine, will you marry me? And Regine keeps finding ways to like finesse her answer to not say no, but not say yes. So now it's at the end of season 6, the final season. And Kyle and Max have been making Regine go crazy as Regine has been the wedding planner for Kyle and Max's wedding. So Regine finally gets done with all the wedding stuff, and it's the big day, and Regina is happy, but she just feels like something is missing. Something is missing about this Kyle and Max wedding. But what also is missing is Daryl, who is missing in action. Meanwhile, Max locks herself in the dressing room in the church, and it's just like, what is going on? And Max says, I don't want to start off this marriage with a lie and with secrets. Like, that's why my parents got divorced and didn't stay together, because there was too many lies and secrets between them. And that's not how I want to start off my marriage with Kyle. And he's just like, what are you talking about? Like, what's going on? And come to find out, Max was proposed a great job offer, a dream job. But the job is in Toronto. And Max is like, I would be a complete hypocrite to ask Kyle for us to move to Toronto after I'm the reason he did not go to London. I'll be a complete hypocrite. I don't know how I'm gonna tell him, but I really want to go. And so Khadijah's like, y'all about to be husband and wife. Y'all love each other. Y'all figure it out. Stop playing, girl. And Max is like, I just don't know. So then Khadijah has to go get Kyle. Kyle's like, what's going on? Max is like, I don't know. Just something ain't right, Kyle. Like, I don't know. It's like, what you having? Like, what's happening? She's like, I don't want to start off this marriage with secrets and lies or anything like that. I don't know how to tell you. And Kyle's like, what's happening? You got like warrants out there? You got like a baby daddy I don't know about? Like, what's happening? So she's like, no, I got this big job offer in Toronto and I didn't know how to tell you. And Kyle's just like, wow. And so then it gets like silent for like 10 seconds and they only show Max's face. And she's like, Kyle, you still there? Kyle? I knew he would leave me. Oh, Lord, what I'm gonna do? So then Kyle actually puts something under the door to where Max picks it up and is just like, what is this? And Kyle's like, those are brochures for some houses in Toronto. She was like, houses? How did you know? And he was like, oh, your job called me asking me if you made a decision in regards to the job offer in Toronto or not. I told him you were still making up your mind. I was just waiting for you to tell me. And Max is like, oh my God. It's like, girl, don't you know I would go anywhere for you? I don't care if it's London, Brooklyn, Toronto, the moon. Like, wherever you go, I go. When I move, you move just like that. When I move, you move just like that. Like, what you talking about? You want to go to Toronto? Let's go to Toronto. Let's start a new life. And so now it's time for the wedding. Dun, 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 dun. And Regine's still losing her mind. Like, where is Daryl? I am going, as soon as I see him, I'm going to kill him. And as soon as he says that, Daryl pops up. And she was like, where have you been? Where have you been? Where have you been? He was like, oh, I'm sorry. my bad. How to do something. Whew, out of breath. And she's like, what was so important that you almost missed my best friend's wedding? And Daryl's like, well, I got a surprise for you. She's like, surprise for me? What you talking about? And pops up Shaka Khan. Shaka Khan. She's like, Shaka Khan? What you doing here, Shaka Khan? Come to find out that Daryl saw a limousine broke down on the side of the road and ended up helping them fix a flat tire. And because of that, Shaka Khan was able to make her show on time. And Shaka Khan owed Daryl a favor after that. So here is Shaka Khan. So Regina's like, oh my God, Daryl, what would I do without you? And Daryl's like, exactly. Did you just ask me to marry you? And Regina's like, no. Stop asking me that. And they walk down the aisle. Khadijah is going crazy because she's like, what am I do about this magazine? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. Scooter's not here. Like, he's supposed to be walking me down the aisle, but again, his job's getting in the way of just doing simple things like this. Can't even be here for my friend's wedding. And she's like going off to Max about this. And as soon as she's done, Max is like, turn around. And there goes Scooter. And Scooter's like, baby, I'm back. For like the 50th time. Baby, I'm back, but this time for good. I tried the whole traveling life, and it just doesn't mean nothing without you. I'm here for as long as you'll let me be. They get to the wedding stuff, and they're doing all the vows and stuff, and the preacher gets to, if anybody opposes this wedding, speak now, forever hold your peace. And as soon as he says that, Sinclair lets out a big, oh! And the whole church turns around, looks at Sinclair. She was like, oh, I'm sorry, don't mind me. Just like my water broke, whatever. But go on, move on. And Maxine and Kyle's is like, what? Like, Overton's like, what? Khadijah's like, oh my God. Reggie's like, are you serious? So now Max and Kyle's like, we gotta wrap this up, B. Wrap it up, B. Come on. So now the preacher's speeding through, like, do you do? And Max is like, I do. Kyle's like, do you do? And Kyle's like, I do. So now Maxine and Kyle say, I do. So now Kyle and Max are officially married, husband and wife, as they are helping rush Sinclair to the hospital so she can have her baby. So everybody's in the waiting room, and Regine's talking to Daryl like, oh my God, I can't believe you did what you did. Like, you really got Shaka Khan. Like, every time I'm down and out, you find a way to pick me up. Like, I don't know, seriously, I don't know what I would do without you. And Daryl's just like, is that a marriage proposal once again? Like, no, I was just playing. I'm not gonna ask you to marry me. And so then he turns around, and then Regine is like, well, will you marry me? And so they actually get engaged. So yes, Regine gets engaged to Daryl, aka Heavy D, and Heavy D, of course, being who he is, Daryl being who he is, tells the whole waiting room, hey, we and Regine get married. We trying that love thing, that forever thing. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, love and happiness. And Khadijah like perks up like, love and happiness. That's it. Love and happiness. That's what my magazine is missing. And Scooter's like, what are you talking about? Like, that's what my magazine is missing. Like, love and happiness. Like, the world needs love and happiness, not negativity and scandal. Like, I need to push more about love and happiness and like weddings and births and new jobs and new life. Like, that's what it should be about. And Scooter's like, I completely agree. And you know what? I do have connects in the music and like entertainment industry. I got a lot of connects to different celebrities that you can like kind of be their voice for love and happiness. Like, that would be dope. And Khadijah's like, yes, that's exactly what I want to do. So Khadijah has figured out a new way to bring new life into Flavor. Meanwhile, Max and Kyle are talking it out, and Max is like, I can't believe you. Like, you really surprised me today. And Kyle's like, I told you I love you. You've been knowing this. Like, I don't know why you keep acting brand new. So then Kyle's like, what type of house we're going to get in Toronto? She's like, I don't know, but it's definitely going to be a 2-bedroom. And he's like, why would it have to be a 2-bedroom? And she's like, well, because I'm pregnant. Kyle's like, stop playing around. Like, here you go again, always trying to joke around. Ha, Max, you're pregnant. And she's like, no. Like, seriously. I found out like a week ago. And he's like, what? That's crazy. We really about to have a baby? Oh my God. But then Max is like, calm down. Let everybody have their day to day. Like, we've already had ours. Kyle's like, you right. So Sinclair finally has the baby, and she has a girl. And Overton and Sinclair let the crew know that they named the child Liberty. So it's a week later, and Sinclair and Overton trying to get the child to go to sleep, but this baby girl will not go to sleep. And Khadijah's like, I got an idea. I got sunshine on a cloudy day. Doom, 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 doom. When it's cold outside, I got a mother maid. And now the whole crew is singing, I guess you say, what can make me feel this way? My girl, my girl, my girl. Whoa, whoa, my girl. Do, 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 do. And the baby goes to sleep as the show fades out. And that's how you end Living Single. Whew, this video was a lot longer than I thought it was going to be, but there was no way I was just going to give Living Single just one more season. I thought they deserved to be around at least 6 seasons. Like, come on. But yeah, that's how I would have ended Living Single. And let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe, share all things are the things. How you would have ended Living Single, what you thought was good about it, bad about it, let me know. But that being said, it's because I'm black, y'all. Because I'm black, y'all. Because I'm black and I'm black and I'm black, y'all. And I'm blah, 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 blah. Yo, because I'm black and I'm black.